What if I told you that the life you're living right now isn't really yours? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you put on the face they expect you to wear, you smile when you're supposed to, you nod when you're supposed to, you go to the job, chase the goals, say the right things. But deep inside, a voice whispers, "This isn't me." You feel it, don't you? That quiet unease, that heavy silence behind the applause. Because no matter how well you play the role, it never feels like home. Today we're going to break that silence. We're going to tear apart the illusion that living for others is noble. And by the end of this video, you won't just see the truth, you'll feel it in your bones. The truth that your life belongs to you. That the deepest fulfillment comes not from pleasing others, but from finally choosing yourself. Let's begin with a question most people never ask. Who wrote your story? Was it your parents, your culture, society, religion? Or did you ever stop and write it for yourself? From the moment we're born, the script is handed to us. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, get married, be agreeable, be safe, be acceptable. But here's the terrifying part. Most people live their entire lives without ever questioning that script. They're not living, they're performing, smiling for the audience, clapping at the right times, dying slowly inside. And if that feels too real, too close to home, it's because you've felt it. That ache when you say yes to things you hate, that tightness in your chest when your dreams conflict with their expectations, that exhausting fear of disappointing people who wouldn't even cry at your funeral. But why do we do it? Why do we betray ourselves so easily? Because deep in our biology, we were wired for approval. In the wild, being rejected by the tribe meant death. So our brains evolved to seek validation as if our lives depended on it. And even now, when exile means being unfollowed, not eaten, we still act like every disapproving glance is a mortal threat. We chase likes, we fear silence, we choose careers we hate, relationships that drain us, lifestyles that numb us, because we're afraid of being alone in our truth. But here's the part no one tells you. That fear, it's the gatekeeper to freedom. And those who walk through it live lives the rest only dream about. Take a deep breath, because we're about to dive into the turning point. Step 1. Wake up from the illusion of obligation. Most of us are sleepwalking through life under a spell. The spell says, this is just the way things are. Graduate, get a job, marry, have kids, work, retire, die. But ask yourself, who benefits from you believing that? And more importantly, do you? Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche warned us about the danger of herd mentality. He said that those who never question never evolve, but those who dare to break the mold, to create their own path, rise above the crowd. He called them the Übermensch, the overman, the one who lives, not as society demands, but as their soul commands. So ask yourself right now, how many of your choices are truly yours? If no one were watching, would you still be doing what you're doing? If that question unsettles you, good. That's the beginning of truth. Step 2. Name the ghosts guiding your life. From childhood, you were taught to behave. Be a good boy, a nice girl, obey, please, smile. You were rewarded for compliance and punished for defiance. And over time, you internalized a dangerous belief. Being loved means being who they want you to be. So even as adults, we carry ghosts on our shoulders. A father's disappointment, a mother's pressure, society's judgment, and the phantom audience in our heads, always watching, always whispering, don't mess up. Psychologist Abraham Maslow described this perfectly. He said most people never reach self-actualization, the highest expression of the self, because they're trapped in the need to belong. But here's the truth. Belonging at the cost of your authenticity is not belonging, it's bondage, and you deserve better. Step 3. Redefine success on your own terms. Success. The word itself is heavy, isn't it? For some it means a mansion, for others, a quiet cabin by a lake. But the tragedy is that most people never ask what it means to them. We inherit society's definition like a hand-me-down suit, and wear it even if it chokes us. But imagine this: no opinions, no comparisons, no need to impress. What would you call a successful life? Would it be freedom, peace, creating something beautiful, raising kind children, spending your days doing something you love? Your definition matters, because if you don't define success for yourself, someone else will. And they'll sell you a version of life that may look good in photos, but feels hollow in the heart. Step 4. Make peace with disappointment. Let me say something hard. You will disappoint people. You will be misunderstood, judged, even abandoned. But here's the harder truth. That's not your burden to carry. Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "We love ourselves more than other people, yet we care more about their opinion than our own." Think about that. Why do we let strangers dictate our destiny? Why do we let someone else's temporary judgment define our permanent path? Every time you say yes to something that betrays you, you say no to yourself. And over time, those little betrayals turn into a life you barely recognize. You must be willing to stand alone in your truth. Because once you do, the people who are meant to walk with you will find you. Step 5. Embrace solitude and the power within. Most people run from solitude, because in silence there are no distractions, just you and the truth. But solitude isn't loneliness, it's self-connection. It's where your real voice speaks. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who cannot be alone will never be free." Think about that. When was the last time you sat with yourself? No phone, no noise, and just listened. Solitude is where clarity is born. It's where you start to distinguish between what you want and what you've been told to want. Step 6. Detach your worth from approval social media. Performance culture. The chase for likes. We've become addicted to applause. But here's the truth. Approval is a drug, and dependency is its prison. Psychologist Leon Festinger called it social comparison theory. We measure our worth by comparing ourselves to others. But the more you seek validation, the more it controls you. It's time to stop performing. Your worth isn't in the compliments. It's not in your salary, your followers, or your titles. It's in your being, in your truth, in the quiet fire that burns in you, but even when no one sees it. Let me leave you with a story. Vincent van Gogh created over 2,000 pieces of art. In his lifetime, he sold only one. People called him insane, a failure, worthless. But he didn't create for them. He created because it was who he was. And today, he's remembered as one of the greatest artists in history. Not because he pleased the world, but because he stayed true to himself. That's the legacy of authenticity, and it's available to you too. So I'll ask you again, are you living or are you performing? Are you walking your path or tracing someone else's steps? You don't need permission to live your truth. You don't need a crowd to validate your worth. And you certainly don't need to shrink yourself to fit into a world that doesn't even know the real you. This is your life, your one wild, sacred life. So live it boldly, live it loudly, live it for you. Because the moment you stop seeking approval, you find something far more powerful, yourself. The version of you that doesn't ask to be seen, but shines anyway. The version that isn't afraid to walk alone, because solitude reveals your strength. The version that stops apologizing for being different, because different is divine. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to blaze trails, to speak truth, to leave echoes of courage in every space you enter. So, take up space, speak with fire, love without fear, stand like you belong, because you do, and when the world tells you to quiet down, to dim your light, to play small, smile, because they've just confirmed what you already know. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to rise, and that changes everything.